You want to do college football? So Ohio State, Michigan has opted out of the game, the big game. Good. Everyone got their Jim Harbaugh jokes off. That was like one of those moments where if you weren't on Twitter the moment the game canceled, don't even try to make your Jim Harbaugh joke because they all got made. And now Ohio State is sitting there currently ineligible for the Big Ten championship game. Don't know if they'll be able to schedule another game this weekend. There's word from Sir Yacht that maybe Texas A&M's out there.
Good enough for me.
I got into Twitter arguments with idiot fans for the whole day because they don't realize that we should change the rules for Ohio State to prop them up.
Yeah.
Because stop thinking like small brains.
Essentially. No, that's correct. That's exactly right. It's like these people must be stupefied by the fact that rich people can afford better tax lawyers and attractive women get out of speeding tickets. Yes, these are facts of life. If you're Ohio State and you carry the Big Ten.
You carry the Big Ten.
The rules are going to be changed for you. They change. These aren't like, this isn't the Bible. These aren't the 10 Commandments that were written down in stone tablets 2,000 years ago, longer ago than that. Jake, how old was Moses in the tablets? He's an Old Testament guy.
Here's my biggest point is, so the Big Ten is so, at least some fans of the Big Ten are so antiquated with like reality. They have no perception of reality. They're not in touch with reality. They think that the rest of the Big Ten is on the same playing field as Ohio State. They are not. I root for a Big Ten team. They are not. Ohio State is playing a different sport and on a different level. Same with Alabama, same with Clemson. Those three teams are playing on a different level than everyone else. That's a reality of college football. There's nothing you can do about it. They are an absolute monster Death Star. They're going to keep on rolling and keep on kicking ass. You have one of two ways to look at it. It's let's keep Ohio State out and hurt them and hurt the rest of the Big Ten, hoping that if we drag them back to the rest of the Big Ten, we can compete better. That's loser thinking. That is absolute loser thinking. Or you could say, hey, Ohio State going to the college football playoff is good for the perception of the Big Ten. It's $6 million to the conference that gets dispersed evenly. Maybe we should focus on getting our team better instead of trying to drag Ohio State back down. And guess what the good conferences do? The SEC props up their winners. The ACC 2 weeks ago did exactly this. They literally fucked over Miami and canceled Notre Dame's last game and put them in the championship game because they said, guess what? We have a chance to get Clemson and Notre Dame into the college football playoff. We're going to put them in the championship game, hope Clemson wins a narrow win, and both those teams go, and we get $12 million to our conference.
Yeah.
And then everyone says, well, okay, $6 million, what the fuck does that buy? That buys nothing. That's you disperse it, it's $500,000. Go read this article. I've mentioned it a couple of times before, but if you want to be the Pac-12 and you want to be resigned to being a fucking afterthought for the college football playoff and in like the national landscape of college football like the Pac-12 is right now, go read this article I've mentioned before on Oregon Live from like 2018. John Canzano wrote it about Larry Scott and his ridiculous spending and how stupid he has been and putting like the Pac-12 offices in San Francisco and the rent is insane, whereas the SEC's office is literally in like a dentist's office in Birmingham, Alabama. Mm-hmm. So in this article, they actually had a quote.
Wait, that can't be right.
Yeah, no,
a dentist's
office. No, it's not.
Birmingham.
It's like a two-story.
It's probably liposuction.
Yeah, right. Well, they call it a dentist. You just go and get Greg Sankey will literally pull your teeth out.
It's a guy with the biggest hammer in the state.
Yeah. So in this article, they actually broke it down, and I'm reading it from this article. It says. David Bartu, who's a managing partner of Matrix Analytical Solutions, consults with some of the top football programs in the country. When asked if handing each member university even another $500,000 annually would make a significant difference, he offered a sobering thought, saying it could be the difference between your program getting a top offensive or defensive coordinator and missing out. Can you buy an extra strength and conditioning coach? Can you buy better nutrition? How about a better weight room? Every fucking dollar matters, especially in COVID. So shut up, prop up Ohio State, realize that you're never going to be them, and make the Big Ten get into the conference. And I'm not rooting for Ohio State. There's a big difference. People are like, well, you're like doing the SEC thing. I'm not.
Yeah, I would never root for another team.
I want the Big Ten to have more money.
Right.
I want the Big Ten to be better at football across the board.
That makes
Ohio State lifts us up.
It makes total sense.
And it's crazy that you have to say it.
The only fan base that I could see not liking this decision would be Michigan, just because you don't want to see Ohio State succeed at all.
Well, Indiana has a little bit of a tiny little bit of argument, because right now under the rules they would make it.
But Ohio State beat Indiana, so I don't think so.
Right.
With Michigan, it's like you don't want to see them succeed ever. No matter you will take pain for yourself if it means that the people in Ohio and Columbus don't get any pleasure whatsoever. What I don't understand, what I've been trying to figure out all day, is why Nebraska is so mad about this. And the only reason is that I can figure out that Nebraska's mad because they invented college football this offseason.
Correct.
And they wanted to play games out of conference.
Yes.
And were told that they weren't allowed to. So they're like, hey, we didn't get this, so why is Ohio State getting it?
Well,
and it's like, give me a fucking break. Like, Nebraska is going to be like, we're going to leave the Big Ten because we're not treated.
They have nowhere to go.
That's like Wes Borland quitting Limp Bizkit, and he's like,
right.
This band is about me.
Right.
I can succeed on my own.
Right. Go. I saw that argument. Oh, the other teams will
Wes
mutiny.
Borland one?
No, not that one. But the other teams will mutiny. Okay, go mutiny. You're not going anywhere. Nebraska tried, and the Big Ten slapped them in the face and said, hey, get in line. The Nebraska's argument at least makes a little bit of sense on a just purely like fair. Like, it's basically like a toddler being like, hey, this isn't fair.
Yeah.
We got this taken away, and then you give it to Big Brother. That's not fair. You are right on that. It is not fair. Life is not fair. You're not Ohio State. Ohio State pays your bills, helps pay your bills. If the situations were different and you were going to the college football playoff every couple of years, you would get preferential treatment, and I have no problem with that. And again, this is coming from a guy who hates Ohio State. So, like, you should listen. I hate Ohio State.
You do.
But I know what's better for Wisconsin is for Ohio State to get the money, disperse it, and have a team in the college football playoff and not fall behind like the Pac-12.
Did the over just hit?